Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And you can find yourself, man, starting to get caught up in headlines for, different reasons. Caroline Dubois, amazing fighter. But, she got her hands full, man. She's going to be fighting Terri Harper. And I think this is one of those classic boxing situations where everything looks clear on paper until it isn't. Because while the spotlight is already drifting towards a future showdown with Alycia Baumgardner, there's and I don't like to see that, looking beyond opponents, because there's a very real and very, very dangerous problem standing in the way. Terri Harper's not showing up to play no supporting role, people. She is not sure. She's showing up to be the main character. She's showing up to dominate and win. She has a title too. She's no joke. So I'm gonna tell you, this is a big problem. I don't like the more I sit here and start to analyze all this, the more it starts to annoy me. Because right now the energy around Caroline Dubois feels like it's one fight ahead of itself. Fans are talking more about Baumgardner. They're only talking about Baumgardner. Social media is talking about Baumgardner. Even Dubois is out here talking about Baumgardner. Her name is being tied to Baumgardner. And that's exactly how fighters get humbled. No one's talking about this Terri Harper fight. Nobody. Even I sat here and forgot Caroline Dubois was fighting Terri Harper. And I'm like, damn, why are they trying to... This whole thing with Alycia, Baumgardner. I'm like, damn. I said, isn't she fighting soon? I think it's April 22nd or something. Look, man, boxing history is full of moments where a fighter starts mentally preparing for the next opponent and completely underestimates the one in front of him. Dubois can't afford to make that mistake here, because Terri Harper's the kind of opponent who will capitalize on even a slight drop in focus. Look, she's a champion. She has 2 losses. She's learned from those losses. I think she has a 38% KO ratio. She's about 5'8", 5'9", 68-inch reach. 67. The bottom line is, you can't lose your focus on someone like Terri Harper, who has nothing to lose and everything to gain. And this is where it gets dangerous. Harper entered this fight in a unique position, man. She's already a world champion, been counted out by many, been viewed as an underdog, bounced back. But this whole combination creates a very specific mindset, freedom. Freedom. When a fighter feels like nobody expects them to win, they have nothing to protect, everything they do is a bonus. Harper isn't coming in with any pressure. She's coming in with opportunity. We're going to see how this fight goes. Should Dubois be the favorite? Of course. But to me, this fight is more about discipline than skill. So for Caroline Dubois, it's a mental test. She has to block out the Baumgardner noise, even though she's the one who's making most of the damn noise. Treat Harper like the final boss, not a stepping stone. Stay emotionally neutral and tactically sharp. We know Dubois started boxing at, 8 or 9? She grew up alongside the sport of boxing. Boxing's inside her. But I tell you what, if Dubois doesn't stay emotionally neutral and tactically sharp, all hell is going to break loose, because Harper can turn this into a long, uncomfortable night. But what I want to see is if Dubois can take Harper to a dark place. If she really wants to build a man for a fight with Baumgardner, she doesn't need to just win. Make a statement. Break Harper down mentally. Control the pace. Show dominance, not just competence. Taking someone to a dark place in boxing, you know what that means to me? Make them question themselves. Make Harper think about, shit, how'd I get myself into this goddamn squared circle with this woman? When Harper wants to rest, make her work. Make her uncomfortable every round. Piece by piece, start to take away her confidence. You know what I'm saying? Take that confidence away. This is what will create the hype Dubois needs to go on and possibly get a fight with Alycia Baumgardner. We know having Claressa Shields co-sign you, and Dubois and Claressa Shields seem to have formed a bit of a dynamic duo, Guopman and Dubois. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. But it doesn't mean shit if she can't go out here and beat Terri Harper. Now, for Dubois, she has a lot of strengths. Very high level amateur pedigree. She knows what she's doing inside that ring. Sharp, technical boxing ability, speed, timing, confidence, presence. She's got it. But she's still developing at world level. She can get drawn into emotional exchanges and outside distractions, future fights, and hype. Those are all weaknesses. But there's a huge opportunity. If she gets a statement win, she builds the Baumgardner fight demand. She establishes herself as a true elite name and headline future major cards. So great things can happen for Dubois in this fight. Now the threat is Harper's experience. She knows what she's doing in that ring too. Dubois also seems to be looking past Harper, which is all bad, and she's underestimating Harper's toughness. Those are all threats for Dubois. She can't do that. Now, when it comes to Terri Harper, a lot of people don't know who she is, and no one's talking about her because the talk is just Dubois, Baumgardner. Let me tell you something. Harper has strengths as well. Experience at world level, tough, resilient, ring IQ, adaptability, underdog mentality. She's coming to win. So anyone saying something different, she's like, hey, yo, hold your horses. Stop taking it to the stupid. But the problem is, when it comes to her performances, she's been a bit inconsistent historically. And she can be outboxed by sharper fighters. One thing about Dubois, she is very explosive. And I just got to be real. Harper doesn't have that same explosiveness. She just doesn't. But there's some opportunities here for a major upset. It can be a career resurgence for Harper. And plus, she'll pick up Dubois' titles. So then she becomes a unified champion. But I'll tell you this. Silence doubters instantly is what would happen if she beats Dubois. Dubois right now is being seen by many as the future face of women's boxing. Right now it's Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. But the problem is, she got to beat Dubois. That's easier said than done. Dubois has speed and precision. She gets overwhelmed early, Harper does, and she can lose rounds clearly based on activity level. So, if you ask me, Caroline Dubois, she's supposed to win by decision or stoppage. But if she's not fully locked in, this becomes competitive, uncomfortable, shit, probably dangerous. For both women, but especially for Dubois. You know, but this is what I think really. The question I have, is Dubois mentally present? Or is she already then traveled her ass, or her mentally traveled her ass on over to the Baumgardner fight? You know what I'm saying? Is she mentally present? Caroline Dubois, we in the class, she ain't in there. Teacher like, where's Caroline Dubois? Normally we hear her say present or here. She ain't here. Okay, she ain't in my classroom. She over there in the Baumgardner classroom looking for a damn fight. Tell you what, if she's not fully focused, Terri Harper will remind her the hard way. And that's the last thing she needs, is to come out here, even in a competitive fight. But she can't afford to lose. She just can't afford to lose. Anyway, Terri Harper may mess around and shock the world. The boss seemed to be in danger. But the danger is herself and worrying about this damn Baumgardner instead of focusing on what's going on in front of her with Terri Harper. You can't look past your opponents. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.